Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Head 2. And hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. So, the other day I talked about Anthony Volpe, the Yankees shortstop, and how he has been struggling this year in particular. And it seems that it's reached to a point now that Yankees need to step in and talk to him, I think. Now, I did a video the other day talking about how, and calls to WFM, which is the sports radio station in New York City. A caller called up Sal Licata, a.k.a. Spaz Licata, because he spazzes out, and said that, maybe the things they say on the radio should be tempered down about young players when they come in here. And Spaz, hung up on the caller, as he does, because Spaz can't deal with debate. He can't deal with any kind of confrontations. He's not very good at it. Marty McFly, George McFly reference, but he doesn't do well with confrontations. So he hung up on the caller, mocked the caller, mocked the player. WFAN has been one of these places that is influential on the fans in a very negative way, and it's been that way since the beginning. They've egged on some fans to really attack players, and this goes across every sport in this city, and it gets to be a bit much. And I believe that's for both teams, but I think it's very much with the Mets, very much more than with the Yankees, because the Yankees, or whatever. But now it's gotten to a point with Anthony Volpe where it's now affecting his family. Let me read you the headline, which I thought was interesting. It's from Yahoo Sports. A camera catches Yankees player Anthony Volpe's dad going off on Mets fan. Now, again, Anthony Volpe has not played well. And he didn't have a good series against the Mets, by the way. There was a couple of bats in that series that he had home run in game 2, but he had other at-bats in those games with the ladder runners on base. And he's struggling. And he came in with a big reputation from the minor leagues. Let me read you this. The Post camera catches Yankees player Anthony Volpe's dad going off on Mets fan appeared first on Clutch Points. Now, we don't see what preceded this. We don't know what the fan said about Volpe. But it was interesting what happened. Struggling in New York is an extremely brutal situation to suffer through, particularly during the Subway Series. Imagine then how difficult it is to be the father of a player who's getting eviscerated for said struggles. Now, we don't know what the fan said. New York Yankees shortstop Anthony Volpe is in the midst of a dreadful stretch, scuffling at the plate, making costly errors and accidentally nailing teammate at him. Did you see that? That's like throwing a ball into a horse. He had a big Band-Aid on his eye. It hit him pretty good. Nailing teammate Aaron Judge in the face with a ball. Mets fans are lapping it all up and reveling in his massive slump. Evidently, Volpe's dad reached his breaking point. A visibly irate man identified as Michael Volpe, according to John Boy Media, the Sherlock Holmes of the internet. The only guy, other than the Astros, that made out from the scandal of 2017. The Sherlock Holmes of the internet. The Sherlock Holmes of YouTube. Shouted obscenities at a Mets supporter for ostensibly bad-mouthing his son. Let's go, he said, while the woman sitting next to him did her best to temper his rage. Even the daily rendition of God Bless America could not inspire some unity, as insults continued to fly. The Mets fan, who appeared to be taken in the game with his son, offered a sarcastic response that only stoked Volpe's fury. Your son is the best, he said, before his new rival called him a scumbag. The uncomfortable people who were forced to endure this tense exchange got a glimpse of the vitriol one could sometimes experience during a Yankees-Mets clash. I went to a Yankees-Mets game 4 years ago on the anniversary of 9/11. It wasn't that bad at all. Everybody got along. It was like a love fest. I sat around a lot of Yankee fans who were friends of mine and family, no problems. This is not a regular occurrence. Obviously, however, this was not merely about the game itself. A combustible environment took shape in the section of Citifield, and although the dispute seemingly reached its natural end before true chaos erupted, the damage is done. Anthony Volpe will surely be questioned about his father's incendiary reaction, which is not something he will want to expand energy on while he desperately tries to break out of a lingering funk. See, his father didn't make it any better with the way social media is. The 2019 first-round draft pick, who grew up as a die-hard Yankees fan and even attended the 2009 World Series parade, continues to find himself under intense scrutiny for his offensive limitations. He's batting .219 with .398 slugging percentage and a .695 OPS in 362 plate appearances this season, failing to record a multi-hit game since June 21st. While some will call juvenile, a New York ballplayer who's posting such measly production will inevitably get skewered by fans. Volpe and his family should understand this as well as anyone, considering all the emotion they have invested in this franchise and sport over the years. Tensions are even higher when the city's two clubs collide. Following Juan Soto's defection to the Queens, the Yankees-Mets rivalry has escalated to new levels. One must prepare for the worst when crossing into hostile territory. Although it's hard to weigh in on this specific situation without knowing what was exactly said between the two men, Michael Volpe should anticipate unflattering remarks about his son. Withstanding it is no easy task, however, and it becomes far more grueling when protective instincts activate. Anthony Volpe has to look ahead as he continues to search for answers at the plate. Young shortstop already has a gold glove to his name, which I don't understand how he got, and has posted a 3+1 his first two MLB campaigns. He still has time to improve from an offensive standpoint, but until he does, the mockery will not relent. Now, I would mention, the worst thing that can happen when you're in a bad situation and you're young is having a parent get involved. It makes it worse. Because he's going to hear about this on the road, okay? And his father should have known better than to get involved. He shouldn't have said anything. Because like I said, we don't know what preceded this. We don't know what the fan was saying. But this is not a good situation. This is going to make it worse for him. And the Yankees going to have to sit down with Anthony and talk to him. It's like, look, it's going to be rough. You're going to be dealing with some rough stuff now on the road. Because this story is going to get out. Of course, I'm doing a video on it. But even before that, people are going to see this. People are going to see how he's being treated. You probably see a lot of vitriol on the second half for him on the road. You won't see it so much at Yankee Stadium, obviously. You won't see it at all at Yankee Stadium. But you'll definitely see this on the road in Boston. Definitely when they go back up there. Chicago, unless they play the Cubs. But you're going to see this. I mean, you're going to see this sort of nastiness. And, you know, there is a point where fans get a little too out of line sometimes. I've been in a ballpark plenty of times where the fans have gotten out of line. A lot of times most of the time nothing happens, but and a lot of times it's just having good fun. You know, as long as you don't cross the line. Now I'm not going to get into this Ketel Marte thing. I'm not going to put my finger anywhere on that, but what's Major League Baseball going to do about that situation? Maybe they did the right thing. I don't know. But you have to know, if you're a family member, if you're sitting in the stands randomly, you're going to have to understand that, and you're on the road, it's a road game, and you're dealing with Mets fans that are happy the Mets are playing so well, and they took Soto away from the Yankees, that there's a lot of spike in the football going on. He should have known that. And I saw the video of him screaming. He got pretty heated. He's made things, hopefully hasn't made things worse for Anthony. Maybe the All-Star break coming, and then maybe 2 weeks after the fact, Eagles will be going on the road when they come back. Maybe things will calm down. You won't see so much of this, him being bothered on the road. It's gonna happen on the road. You know, people are making fun of him. Well, maybe his father, his daddy's gonna help him, and you know, stuff like that. But let me know what you think about this video, and of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hat 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.